Ever since I was the wee age of 13, I loved Miraculous Ladybug. The magical girl transformations, the juicy love square between Adrien, Marinette, Luca, and Kagami, the angst. This show would rotate in my head 24/7 like a rotisserie chicken, burning into my mind like how TikTok has burnt itself in everyone's phone screen in 2020. And it has remained there for years now. Even when I wasn't actively watching the show, I was still thinking about it, drawing it, and even making OCs based on it. And now that I look back on it, it's kind of Now listen, I still have a deep passion and love for the show. Miraculous Ladybug has some really cool ideas that I enjoy, but the execution of these ideas are often, it makes me wonder what's happening in that writing room. Every episode is just a constant loop of it's so over and we're so back. So today I wanted to make a video that focuses on what I would do if these were my OCs that I wanted to bring back. Because I have brain rot and I need to talk about Miraculous Ladybug. I have such a love-hate relationship with Marinette because on one side, she has a lot of aspects that a lot of main characters do not have. Like she's the artsy girl who's a little quirky and weird and people don't like her because of it. Growing up, I was that art kid. I was the quirky art kid no one liked. So seeing Marinette experience the same thing, the same bullying, that was huge to me. Especially considering that Marinette is not connected to her culture. I get that. I get her, that's me! But the thing I hate the most about Miraculous Ladybug is that they keep sabotaging her. You see, Marinette has had some terrible moments. Do you guys remember the time where Marinette asked Julika to have it so that Luca doesn't go to his own birthday party, just so Marinette could be more comfortable? Do you know how crazy that is to say? Hey, can you not go to your own birthday party for the sake of me? What? One scenario that pops in my head very quickly is the one in season 6 where Marinette is really nervous to be around Adrien because she has a fat crush on her. Yeah, Adrien's a girl now. But she has a fat crush on him, so she gets like the first relationship jitters. And this is just like a little weird because we get the same lesson in a previous season, and in that episode they actually like lay in the same bed together and she's like fine. So you would assume that after all that and after actually becoming close with Adrien, she would understand the lesson that it's not as scary as she originally thought, you know? But now we are having the same premise be shown in season 6. To me, it just seems like the main issue with Marinette's character comes down to the fact that the writers don't want to embrace change. They're not comfortable with the idea of her becoming more mature and growing out of her clumsiness, and that's why I feel like even in the newest season, we still get scenes like season 1 Marinette stalking Adrien, you know? And it's kind of pushed off to be a joke, but no one likes it. It's a common complaint that Marinette is creepy towards Adrien. So why do we keep doing this storyline if we could just instead move on and show her growing from her jealousy or dealing with her jealousy in different ways? This constant problem of just keeping Marinette in the same loop, honestly, it just leads to character development resets. And this is why it constantly feels like Marinette doesn't have consequences that lead to, I guess you could say, meaningful character growth. They're just lessons that we eventually forget later on. And I was also talking about this problem with my friend ANARCHII, and she made up a great point that I just want to insert here. I think another issue that ties to it is the fact that Miraculous was clearly made with a more lighthearted episodic premise in mind, with a few overarching plot points that develop in the background. So when they decided to move to a more serialized narrative, they never exactly worked out how that will go fully, and we're kind of stuck in this weird limbo, kind of like Ruby. So now the writers are writing Marinette more under this episodic mindset rather than the mindset of her being the main character in a serialized narrative. And I agree with this very much. I think she just explained everything I have been thinking and just put it in a nice little present with a little beautiful bow on top. Love you, ANARCHII. I'm going to leave the link to her channel down below, so make sure to subscribe to her if you haven't already. If I was one of the writers on Miraculous Ladybug, I would definitely focus more on this part. And if we're going with the idea that it's a kids show, I would have it be a kids show that's very educational about mental health. And I know, before you say it, oh, of course the girl with blue hair and pronouns wants the show to be about mental health. But there's already a lot of aspects in Miraculous Ladybug that talk about mental health. We just don't really delve deep into them. Like, Marinette is supposed to be very insecure and have a lot of anxiety because she was bullied as a kid. Adrian, where do I start? His parents neglect him. His mom is in a coma. These are all things that can result in negative mental health. And even like akumatizations, those start when someone is in a really rough place and Hawkmoth, being a bad guy, decides to use that for his advantage. Not good, but that's what he does. So I think we should actually talk about that in the show. Also, I think it would be really cool to see mental health be more, I guess you could say, pronounced in the setting of the show. Like, maybe there are billboards or posters on restaurants that are grounding exercise to help you from having a panic attack. Just from a literary perspective, just having it so that at first, before akumatizations, Paris did not have these billboards and posters, but because of the akumatizations, they start to focus more on mental health and are more educated as to why mental health is so important. Speaking of mental health, in this rewrite, I wanted to change the backstory of Marinette just a little. I kept the idea that she was bullied, especially by Chloe, but I wanted to instead make it less obvious. Because in the show, they do a lot of bullying where Marinette is being made fun of, which is, of course, a way of bullying. But I wanted Chloe in my rewrite to be that type of bully that will purposely exclude someone and make other people do the same thing. And because that, she is turning everyone against her. But when she is talking to Marinette, or when other people see her interacting with Marinette, she's actually nice to her. That way it's a bit more painful of an experience for Marinette, because how can you really explain, hey, this girl is excluding me all the time, when people are just gonna say, well, Marinette, people don't have to play with you if they don't want to. Does that make sense? It's just a bit more painful. And I really like the idea that because of this bullying, Marinette went from this kid who is carefree, constantly drawing. Like, she was that kid that would constantly draw on like the margins of her homework and put hearts in her A's. Like, that was who Marinette was. But the more Chloe made her feel like her clothing was weird, her art was weird, the way she looks, the way she talks, everything is weird, Marinette starts to really take it hard. And it really starts to affect her, and I believe that she becomes very insecure and starts focusing on fashion and how people present themselves, because that's what Chloe has taught her. And eventually, she dreams of going to this prestigious high school that's called Dupain, and this is really important to her because it's one of her closest high schools that have a fashion academy. But the issue is that it is damn expensive to go there. So she does eventually apply with the guidance of her mother, and for her portfolio, she ends up including a lot of her sketches. And she does actually get in on scholarship, but the scholarship isn't a lot of money. Like, it's not a full ride, because I imagine that Marinette doesn't have the best of grades, but the school does give her some money. But that doesn't mean that she can still afford the school. And her parents, being the loving and sweet parents they are, actually reveal that they have been saving money from their bakery to help Marinette go to college, and that they will help her using this money. But that is under the conditions that she has to work at the bakery just to save money for her school and for her future. So she is eventually accepted into this high school, which is super huge for her, but under the conditions that Marinette must not fail her classes. Since she is on scholarship, this is very important, because if not, she can be kicked out of this high school. And Marinette doesn't want this. This high school is a great way to get into the fashion industry, especially considering that they do have connections with the one, the only Gabriel Agreste. And this is where my redesign takes place. The first one I want to talk about is the third body on the right. And this is her main civilian outfit. this is just kind of a redesign of the original outfit that she has, because I don't think her original outfit is terrible, but I just wanted to make it super obvious that this is in the early 20s. And a lot from what I saw in the early 2000s were these sweaters and shirts that were like not cropped, but like they were half and half, and like on the top half it would be black and the bottom half it would be like stripes. And I loved these shirts so much, and I wanted to give her something that is the equivalent of that. And I kept her pink pants. I know that a lot of people don't like her pants, and I'll be honest, I'm not the greatest fan of capri pants in my personal life. I do not want to wear those things. I do not want to wear pants where half of my ankle is out to the world and the other half isn't. That's just not comfortable for me. But capris were just such a huge part of early 2000s fashion, and I just think that in order to show that, they need to be there. I hate to say it. But you know what also was really big in 2000s fashion? Those like bedazzled pants, and they were like really cute and embroidered. I loved this aspect. But I really like the idea that after Marinette becomes Ladybug, she kind of builds this confidence in Ladybug. She sees Ladybug as wonderful and powerful and confident. And even though Ladybug is her, she still feels a bit disconnected to her. But throughout the time, Ladybug helps Marinette become more confident. And as a reminder that she can be that girl, she is Ladybug, she adds little aspects to her outfit that are reminiscent of Ladybug. As such, the actual Ladybug on her jeans and the spots on her sweater. I also made the executive decision to give her short hair. Sorry guys. I really do like the pigtails, but I thought it was just a little too obvious that she was Ladybug when you have Ladybug, a girl with pigtails, and then Marinette, a girl with pigtails. I know, the scandal. I wanted it to be very, very obvious that the Marinette in her school is not the same Marinette in her hero form or in her civilian form. And this is mostly because I really like the concept that Marinette goes into her new high school ecstatic. She's like, this is a fresh new start for me. This is gonna be so wonderful, you know. And then she goes into her fashion academy class, and then she finds out that Chloe Bourgeois is also in the fashion academy, and now she has to deal with 2 more years with Chloe. And it's not great. It's not a wonderful realization. And because of that, she goes right back in her shell, and she starts wearing more black, and she stops accessorying like she did on the first day. She is scared, and her school uniform swallows her. She is no longer wearing her clothes are wearing her, because she is worried of what Chloe will make of her in this new school. Walking into Ladybug's design, I was a bit too confident, I'm not gonna lie. I saw her design, I was like, wow, this is bad, I could do so much better. No, I can't, no, I cannot. I know her original design is relatively bad. That's like a well-known fact. It's just very basic for being a hero design. But I have so much pity on any designer who has to make a better design for her, because what are you supposed to do with red and black spots? I'm so sorry, the universe humbled me today, and I understand. For the most part, I took a lot of inspiration from her season 6 design, because I actually like it quite a bit. I think it's kind of cute. The only thing I really changed is that I wanted her to have a lot of black in her design, just to balance out the spots. So I also gave her a very big ahoge, I think it's called. Being a Danganronpa fan didn't help me. The only thing else that's really different is that I also gave her an accent of blue in her design. I just thought that having a lighter blue in her design would have really made her design pop. And I gave her wings, because I think the idea that Cat Noir has like cat features but Ladybug doesn't have bug features is a little silly to me. And I think it would just be a really cute interaction if like Ladybug doesn't know how to fly at the very beginning, but Adrian, being rich, I'm sure he's gone paragliding at least once. So he explains to her how to do it, and it's like this bonding moment, and that is my start for Lady Chatbug. The ship between Ladybug and, oh my god, have I lost my mind? Lady Noir, that's what it's called. As for their superpowers, I haven't changed anything too extreme. The only thing that I changed is that I think the Lucky Charm power, where she resets everything, I think that should be a power up that Chat Noir and Ladybug have to use together. And I also believe that it doesn't just fix everything. Like, of course, it rebuilds the buildings like how it does in the show, but I really like the idea that it affects the world around them. Like, I imagine that after maybe a year or two of Marinette being Ladybug, Paris starts to flood a little bit, and as a superhero, she just kind of thinks that this is another Akuma coming to fight, but after a while, she sees no Akuma and everything is fine, but Paris is flooding, and she soon finds out that because they keep breaking down and rebuilding these buildings, and the ground beneath them, the ground and the buildings become very brittle. And because of that, water is rising and seeping through the world. And I think this would be a great consequence to using their powers too much, and it wouldn't make overhauling the world seem like too big of a superpower. And that is it for today's video. If you have stuck with me for this long, thank you so much for watching. And make sure to leave a ladybug emoji down below so I know you made it this far. And since you're already down there, please let me know what your favorite part of this redesign is, and if you have any opinions on things that I should include or change. With this, also don't be afraid to leave a like and subscribe. And as always, please make sure to take care of yourself. Stay hydrated, eat well, and treat yourself to a few episodes of your favorite show. Also, if you have any show recommendations, please tell me down below. I really want to get into new animes and stuff, and I just don't know which ones to get into. But that's enough from me. Again, thank you so much for watching. This is Naomi, logging off. Bye!